Alright, this is a little off topic, but this is something important, especially to a tree guy. I'm not a welder, and I know that. And if you're going to have anything welded, you should really rely on somebody who knows how to weld. But I do quite a bit of packing things together and building things that aren't of what we shall call safety significance, like trailer hitches and things like that. But pieces like things on my splitter, the hopper of my splitter, I'll weld, brackets and stuff. But I just figured I'd go over my welding kit because it is really super basic and simple, and it's great for if you only do little stuff, and it's also great for somebody who's just beginning doing stuff and needs to be able to tack this and that together. And if you've been in this game long enough, you really understand the importance of being able to have some kind of welding equipment available. Because I'm not a welder, I also have an essential trimmer. I don't have expensive equipment, but I did make it as easy on myself as possible. You might not want the same equipment, but you might say, you know, I like the methodology behind it. So we're going to start with, this is all my welding gear, minus my helmet, which I keep completely separate so it doesn't get the lens scratched up and all that goods. And it is at my house right now. So I have one box for my grinding stuff. Variety of wire wheels, cutting discs, grinding discs, flap discs, you know, whatever you would need to get anything done. See the handle, because yeah, we all know how handles are on grinders. You keep one handy. How often do you really use it? My wrenches, extra thimbles, and thread, you know, all the threaded gear is in here. And I'm using this box, which is an old carpenter's box, because I keep 3 grinders. Again, more wire brushes in here, more grinding wheels, but I keep 3 grinders handy. One with a regular grinding disc on it, one that I use for wire wheels, and one with the cutting disc on it. That's just so I don't have to keep changing wheels over in the middle of a project. I can always have what I need ready. I don't have battery powered stuff because for this, it's not cost effective for me to spend all that money on something I don't use that much. What you're looking at here is an investment of under $60 at Harbor Freight. For grinders that I've had, the newest one is like 4 or 5 years old, I think. The oldest one is probably about 7 or 8 years old. Under 20 bucks, I mean, it's a sword-take deal, man. You can't beat it. So that's how I take care of my grinding and my prep work. And because a lot of my stuff is light duty where I weld, I don't weld anything heavy duty. I understand the importance of a welder, and I can't emphasize that too much, obviously. I have, of course it rolls, I have the bigger tools. This is just a Milwaukee 14-inch cut saw, you know, steel chop saw, a brace of wheels. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace for 50 bucks. Best 50 bucks I spent, man. You know, it was great investment. I got a couple of clamps laying down in the bottom of here to clamp things together. You know, big C clamps. And the cheapest titanium welder they had at Harbor Freight, which I absolutely love. It's a wire feed flux core. I've had it now for 4 years, and it served me well. I haven't had any problems with it, but then again, I don't abuse it. I haven't had any issues with it. I've run it on a 100-foot 12-gauge extension cord, and it's welded perfectly fine for me. I run it off my, what I have, a 4,500 watt portable generator. I've run it off of that. It does good welds. It only fits a 2-pound spool. It's got all of the information that you need about what you're welding on the inside. Great little tool that if you don't abuse, it'll last you a good long time. And again, you know, I'm not a welder, so I don't compare it to welding tools. I just compare it to what I got to get done. and it works well for that. So that's it in a nutshell. And of course, welding gloves. Get welding gloves. You can weld without it. You're always burning your hands. It's worth a couple bucks that you're going to spend on them. You know, 20 bucks I think I paid for those, or Lincoln's. So there it is in a nutshell. This is from a fire service home light demo saw, I believe. I'm not really quite sure. 32-inch box, fits everything in nicely. Nice long carpenter's toolbox, keeps everything tidy. Threw it on a little dolly, and that's basically it. So if you're gonna have to weld this and that, I mean, if you were to ask me what the total cost of everything that I needed to weld, including my helmet, was, I'm gonna say I paid like $1.50 for the welder, $50 for the chop saw used, I think. So that's 200 bucks. I spent another like 60 bucks in grinders, so 260 bucks, and then my helmet, 360 bucks. By the time you get into getting a bunch of cutting wheels and all that stuff, you need a pair of little dikes to cut your wire back. You're around 400 bucks. You can set yourself up and do a pretty good job. And you can cut out the chop saw if you want, depending on how big what your welding is. It just makes it easier for me because it makes more accurate cuts than using the cut-off wheel. And you can start even with one grinder, you know. But good self-shading helmet, you know, halfway decent one, 100 bucks, 120 bucks probably, and you're on your way. Anyway, that's that. Hope it was helpful to somebody out there, and hopefully we'll speak with you soon and be able to get a little more content out there for you. It's just been crazy busy by us. A lot of huge mountain fires, a lot of work, tree work that I've been doing, and just no time. Anyway, that's that. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.